I'm bored. I love a bibliothèque. Sending my GoFundMe campaign to people. Let's do a GoFundMe campaign. Though my GoFundMe campaign through the GoFundMe.com has been deactivated because I'm no longer paying for my cell phone service. And mostly everyone in my family of origins joke isn't a human, it's disgusting, it wants to pretend that it's an murder and steal. So all I need the have achieved adulthood say about them. And those of us that have achieved adulthood always. I'm bored, so I'm sticking to the that's in the way we're saving money. That is hilarious. If you're new here, you may be finding Jennifer Bonita and be like, but you look like you're her only friend. Why haven't you given her money for food? Ladies and gentlemen, my Facebook account, if you don't know, is the collection of experiences that have led me to seek the death penalty for Jennifer Bonita as of adult age. For stealing from me, for getting in the way of receiving money, for stealing my money, for stealing my home, stealing my vehicles. What else? Since she was late teenager. And before that. Pero she became a death penalty worthy candidate at 18 and 21. What else? I'm bored. Everyone does drug me or rape. What else? What else? They're so disgusting. Those people that I grew up around, they violate rights. So how do I ever talk to them? What else? I'm bored. What else? When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel, plan and meet people ideally from here. I'm excited about that. Anyways, I was talking about this earlier. I'm gonna take Jayden and Keilany there again. What else? I'm bored. Antes que te vayas, he hates me for no reason, and some people in my family. El prostitute, y pasan una vida entera with the wrong people. They're like, antes de que te vayas, antes que te maten en self-defense, vamos para la playita, y mámame el pene y te compro un regalo. And people are like, those people never die. Porque the FBI sometimes doesn't have the manpower to kill millions of people at the time. Like, I can kill hundreds of people in my family of origin in self-defense. That translates to I can kill about thousands of people in self-defense because they all have a significant other, mother or father, or a sibling, or a kid or a co-worker, someone that they know that rapes, steals, and murders. What else? So just like this basura caused Mexico to have historical violence the month that they killed Gloria Nirsa and caused me to not have electricity in my apartment, trying to make me look like the girl without a grandmother that killed her mother. How could I have been killing my mother if I don't have money to sustain myself? So then he wants me to kill myself and cry, oh, I couldn't save Gloria Nirsa. Gloria Nirsa couldn't save herself. Gloria Nirsa was an orphan by the age of 6 and was so abused by her family of origin that took her in, that this basura lich asquerosidad preyed onto her and bullied her. They're in my life. They steal from me, they get in the way of me receiving money, they steal my vehicles. Ew, 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 ew. They're so disgusting. I don't ever want them near me. What else you can decapitate? He's trying to turn me into, I'll never, so that he can be the only option for you out there. As if celibacy doesn't exist, he thinks that he's what makes one sexy. I took that picture before I even met him. And I've taken pictures like that of myself before I even met him. Like my, what is it? My Google. And not every picture that I send, I save. What else? What else? What else? What else? Even has a date of like prior to me even meeting him. Porque I didn't remember he existed. I don't do like, me voy a rasurar. It's like yo me rasuro el todo cuando me da la gana. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They're disgusting. They're so gross. They just think that they're God's gift to sexiness. They're just rapists, murderers, and thieves. After one's lingerie pictures, after one's toto's picture, after one's vagina picture. What else? What else? What else? After competition of who is hotter, who isn't, who wore best, because I already hit my custom kill yourself. These have the date on them. I didn't see him in Texas stalking me until November 2018. 2016. It says it's from 2018. He raped me in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. He's deplorable, so gross. I took these pictures for myself. And Edgar doesn't have any total pictures because of me, because of him. Every day that he needed to, porque how else was I gonna procreate this too? Who I love. Anyways, my Lexus today. What else? 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 That's hilarious. That day, David Ledesma talked to me in garden. I remember the day because I'm seeking the death penalty for him. Afterwards, like after I took that picture, I headed to the garden to dance alone. And David Ledesma's there stalking me. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So he claims that he's like a sexy maker. No, he isn't. What else? 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 They're deplorable. They even go on to ask Edgar, and they're like, okay, so what piece of lingerie was she wearing? Dale, cuéntame. Te lo mamó, no. Ew, they're disgusting. They're disgusting. Ew, 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 ew. They're disgusting. They're so gross. Disneyland next week. Oh, I don't think they have school. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I am bored. Anyways, I'm calling Jayden and Keilany. What else? Anyways, then I can do that penalty for everyone that David Ledesma share. What else? Because that's what they're after. They're embarrassing. They're so outdated with their abuse too. They're deplorable. Ew, 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 ew. You can decapitate David Ledesma. There's a lot of people in Puerto Rico that have immunity. to kill David Ledesma for me. And for themselves, he rapes people in Aguada, Puerto Rico, assuming that they're poor. And there's 2 international airports in Aguada, Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico. One in Aguadilla, one in, what is it? In San Juan. And he thinks that people in Puerto Rico are poor and needs to be abused. He's disgusting. He's disgusting. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. Calling Jayden. I'm calling Keilany. You can decapitate David Ledesma. Then possibly illegally prostitutes himself as me. And does he pester her? Says, let me talk to your kids. They're drug addicts, I've heard. Ew, and tries to call Jayden Keilany's son like he's me. Trying to acquire clients for his illegal prostitution business. Porque I've heard from themselves he en basurín, basura, más lacra, más my homes without my permission, pretending to be me. Illegally prostituting himself there. They're embarrassing. That was decades ago. Ew. He thinks I have Alzheimer's. I don't remember anything. I just don't ever think about them. I don't want to. I bring them up right now because I'm talking to the FBI. This supposed to send the death penalty for him. Anyways, I'm calling Keilany. What else? Y no me maté. Todo el abuso que he sent towards me. Possibly he created fake accounts talking to me. I don't have phone service right now. What else? What else? Anyways, is this live? The internet is slow. I just called Keilany. She didn't answer. I'm calling her through Instagram. And I called Jayden. I'm calling Jayden through Instagram. And I have a phone service through AT&T at the moment. I don't know. They think that I'm gonna kill myself. Porque Sarah Woolsey, an influencer that they introduced. What else? Or Samsung phone, and I don't have any. De que por ella dejarle mamar el toto y mamarle ese pene, ella tenga todo mi dinero para que siempre esté al día. Él las tiene y los tiene a todos al día para hacerse pasar por mí. Es un peor que un nene chiquito. Crying, trying to kill me. Very dangerous, a terrorist. Because se casó conmigo at the age of when I was 2 or 3. And I didn't sleep overnight. And marriage wasn't consummated that night. Did he literally rape his mother and said, well, you're going to have to suck my penis today? Ew, se está enojado conmigo todavía. Por años. De que yo no le he sacado una cita todavía. Se queda en mi casa sin mi permiso, me roba mi vehículo, me roba mi dinero so I couldn't date him. Gets in the way of me receiving money so I can't date him. He is the